I'm at the USC Private Sports Club and Espresso Shop located at 45 Avenue S, corner of West 12th Street in beautiful Brooklyn, New York. And you're watching the MC Too Tall Show.
Illuminati is a thing you need to watch out for. They want to depopulate and slave us so much more. World domination, I'll get into that later. I'm hardcore, fierce and sexy. You're just a hater. You deserve the ridicule because you're an absolute zero. I'm the keeper of the chalice, a rock and roll hero. I'm not an idiot nobody listens to, because I'm not a failure in life like you. Let's talk about Bill Gates and the mark of the beast and the orgies in the streets at the Catholic feasts and Bill and Hillary's human trafficking ring. And George Soros got the money to pay for everything. Socialism is for losers, working for the devil. Chumps that can't fight, they ain't on my level. It takes an evil one to try to debunk and doubt it, so I'd rather die than stop talking about it. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out. Watch out for the Illuminati. Watch out for the Illuminati.
Welcome to the MC Too Tall Show. I am your world-famous, hardcore, fierce, and sexy host, hip-hop legend, and New York City goth scene ambassador, MC Too Tall. Now let's get started here. The left, the left, the left. The left, they continue to push false narratives on Donald Trump to try to hide their own corruption. It's not Donald Trump that's the low-life sack of shit. It's Barack Obama that is the low-life sack of shit. That's right. That's right. MC Too Tall, government name John Krantz, said that at 45 Avenue S, Brooklyn, New York, 11223. Barack Obama is a low-life sack of shit. And Donald Trump is the furthest thing from a low-life sack of shit. And, yes, I had to use the strong language to get the message across. See, when we use our swear words, there's meaning behind it. When the left uses their swear words, it's a ploy to try to be a tough guy. And let me assure you, Hunter Biden, you are not a tough guy. I can kick your ass. Tim Walz, you are not a tough guy. Ditto, ditto, ditto to Gavin Newsom and Michelle Obama. Whether or not I can remains to be seen. Why don't we test that in the ring? Now let's get back to what I'm saying here. The left are trying to cover up. There's like a bunch of different operations that the left are trying to do here. Hello. There's a bunch of different operations that the left are trying to do simultaneously. They're trying to continue to paint Donald Trump in a bad light. It is a facade. The facade has been lifted, and they should know that by how their presidential candidate that they last put up against Donald Trump got hammered. And I'm talking a real hammering, not the imaginary hammering going on in the head of Lawrence O'Donnell. Don't think I forgot that. And so, loons like Lawrence O'Donnell really wanted you to believe that Kamala Harris would win the election. She lost. Here we are, 10 months later, and they're still talking about it. Hell, Hillary Clinton, here it is. Here it is, nearly 10 years later. It's 9 years later, and she's still squawking about her loss. in a free and fair election against Donald Trump. 2016 and 2024 were free and fair elections, resulting in a win for Donald Trump. 2020 was a fraud. And climate change is in the hands of God, not man. And if you try to mess with the weather, you're playing God. If you try to dictate how people dispose of their garbage with the motive to be something having to do with the ozone layer, you're playing God. If climate change is real, then obviously so is God, and God has control of the climate change. He's the one changing the climate, not man. So let's not do God's job. Let's do our job here on Earth as freedom fighters. We have to be freedom fighters, and they should make it a rule where people who do not know how to pronounce the word freedom should not be allowed to say the word freedom. These people are jackasses. These people that don't talk straight. That's why I like men like Robert F. Kennedy Jr. And let me tell you something. Big medicine really screwed up that man's voice. I'm telling you. And then they mock him afterwards. Big medicine funded by the left screwed up RFK Jr.'s voice, and then they mock him for his voice. But I can't talk about Michelle Obama's voice. You know? Or how disgusting Barack Obama is and what he did to this country. And as I was saying, there's a push to taint Donald Trump's name, continue to paint him in a bad light, while trying to deflect the really bad shit that Barack Obama and his men did. To try to deflect from what Hillary Clinton should be held accountable for what she tried to do to Donald Trump in 2016. Barack Obama should be held accountable for his role in sabotaging the incoming administration, which was Donald Trump's. Barack Obama needs to be held accountable. Democrats need to be held accountable. Too many people are on this, oh, let it go, let it go, let it go, let it go. But meanwhile, do they let it go? You got people trying to sew up association between Donald Trump and the Russians that simply isn't there. You're trying to link Donald Trump with Jeffrey Epstein, and that link isn't there. You're trying to... Let me tell you something. I'm so confident that Donald Trump is not a pedophile, that I want you to throw rocks at me as if I'm the pedophile, if you so believe that Donald Trump is a pedophile. Okay? Yo, bring that shit. Where's a 17-year-old girl? Bring her too. Look up at your guard, ask me, how's my day? I drank a 40, got the get, and blew somebody away. And that's how I feel about the situation. Where's the 17-year-old girl? Bring her too. And you'll have no 17-year-old girl to materialize and bring forth, because allegations like that against Donald Trump and me are false. And so this is why I defend Donald Trump, because Donald Trump is no more of a pedophile than I am. And I'm not on any kind of sex watch list or sex offenders watch list, and neither is Donald Trump. But you know who is? Clinton confidant and former Democratic congressman who had to leave in disgrace to serve jail time, Anthony Weiner. Let me tell you something. George Santos is more of a man than Anthony Weiner. George Santos is more ethical than Anthony Weiner. Because, let's face it, corrupting a child, corrupting an innocent child, because that's what every minor is. A minor is a child. Every minor is a child. So, corrupting a child, like Anthony Weiner did, is worse than any of the embezzlement or whatever money-related thing that George Santos did. You know, if you're sneaking funds out and lining your pockets, whatever, sure, that's unethical, that's wrong, it's kind of on the scumbaggy side, but you're not diddling the kids. You're not sending pictures of your namesake, Anthony Weiner, to 14-year-old girls. Let me tell you something. You will not find pictures of my junk in the inbox or the DMs of anybody 18 or under. Hell, you can't say that about Anthony Weiner, Democrat pervert. People want to talk about Donald Trump being this pedo, this pervert, this, that. Okay. Let's see. Let's start the list off with Anthony Weiner. Let's follow up. Mayoral candidate, former governor Andrew Cuomo. Former governor of New York, Eliot Spitzer. Former governor of New Jersey, James McGreevey. Former Senator Al Franken. All right. Former Senator Gary Hart. Former Senator John Edwards. And granted, I made peace with this man. I did shake his hand and all. But it doesn't change the fact it is what it is. Former presidential candidate Jesse Jackson. Shook the man's hand since, but it doesn't change the facts here. And so, these are people that all, besides, with the exception of Jesse Jackson, who never acquired a public office, all the others had to leave office. They had to leave office and stop pursuit of higher office because of some sex scandal. These are 8 people I mentioned. And we have a president that was impeached, not over a sex scandal, but over lying under oath with regard to questions about the sex scandal. So indirectly, he was almost put out of office due to a sex scandal. Matt Gaetz didn't leave office because of a sex scandal. That's why I call him Morality Matt Gaetz. Matt Gaetz is from the party of morality. And you can find me on a regular basis at 45 Avenue S, corner of West 12th Street, Brooklyn, New York, 11223. Right there, you see that sports club right there, that private sports club right there? You'll often find me sitting right out front there, sipping an espresso, watching a soccer match between two teams I don't know, being broadcasted in a language I don't understand. But I'm sitting there, but you'll find me often sitting there, sipping my espresso. And I say this just to say, if you got a problem with what I'm saying, show up in person and let's talk about it. Moving right along. I got mail here pretty often. You know, mail. This one, oh, let me cover that up so nobody gets my address. I don't want people throwing rocks at my house. But anyway, this is William Colton, an assemblyman. His office is a couple blocks north of here on Kings Highway, between West 12th and 13th Streets. And he's a Democrat. And he's a longtime Democrat because people in the 90s, like 97 when he first took office, which is like over 30 years ago, they, or close to 30 years ago, they felt that Democrats were good at local politics. Even the people that believe that Republicans are good at national politics, they're brainwashed like stupid sheeple into believing that Democrats are better than Republicans at local politics. Not true at all. Not true at all. You want your local politicians to be tough on crime and easy on private landlords. And you want your national politicians to be tough with foreign policy and easy with economic regulations that'll help stimulate the economy and keep the economy going and keep things on a rise as far as people having buying power and self-worth and self-confidence. And so only the Republican Party is capable of that. The Democrats want to bring about immorality, low quality of life, low morale in the military and police forces throughout the country. And that's what the Democrats stand on. Republicans are the party of morality. The Democrats are the party of immorality. So let me cover this up again before I put it on screen. William Colton. He said hello to me a couple of times when I would see him on Kings Highway. Easy to reach kind of guy. You know, I would see him late at night when I would do my laundry at Mr. Wash, which was a 24-hour laundromat. And he'd sometimes stay late, close his doors at 10 o'clock, walk past me and give me a nod or whatever. And, you know, we knew each other on a first-name basis. I'd be like, hey, Bill. That's why you often hear me call him Bill Colton. And, you know, allowing me the honor and privilege of being among the few who could call William Colton Bill to his face, that's not enough. This is a man who backed up Andrew Cuomo, the failed governor who left in disgrace on a sex scandal, who during his last year as governor killed senior citizens personally. He may as well have ran into those nursing homes with a knife and stabbed up all those old people. And Curtis Sliwa is right by labeling Andrew Cuomo as the man who's out there slapping fannies and killing grannies. And there's where my problem lies with Bill Colton. Instead of backing up Sliwa, somebody who's actually going to be tough on crime, he's backing Andrew Cuomo, and he's up for re-election. I don't know who the Republican is running against Bill Colton, but I'm sorry, my friend. I'm voting against you, regardless of who that Republican is running against you. And reason being is not because you're a Democrat, but because you chose to support that god-awful ex-governor, Andrew Cuomo. A bunch of people supported Andrew Cuomo, and now they're running for dear life to Eric Adams, who's a failed mayor. This governor that screwed up didn't make the primary. Let's run and hide behind this guy that knew he couldn't get the Democratic nomination, so he ran as an independent. And even had the goal to try to run as a Republican against Sliwa. But didn't, the math wasn't mathing for him to run as a Republican. So they're fleeing to the man who fled the Democrat Party because he sucked as mayor, and he knew he would have been hammered right side by side with Cuomo in the Democratic primaries by this radical, fanatic, sicko Zoran Mamdani. And that's who you're running to? First you rally behind Cuomo, and now you're trying to slink behind Eric Adams? Yeah, go after him. Yes, leave this Gravesend neighborhood. Get your bus ticket or get in your limousine and just head all the way over to the Hamptons and party it up with Eric Adams to show your support for Eric Adams in the Hamptons at the hookah bars, sipping a damn martini, while the city under Eric Adams' jurisdiction goes up in flames and is actually considering a hardcore, hardline socialist as his replacement. And people are like, well, I know the city sucks with Eric Adams. We know the city sucks with Eric Adams, but it'll be so much worse with Mamdani. You gotta pick the devil you know over the devil you don't. Why choose among devils when you can pick an angel? A guardian angel, the chief guardian angel, Curtis Sliwa. And on to the I say, respect God, watch out for the Illuminati, follow and share this wonderful, wonderful content, tell all your friends about MC Too Tall. Stay strong, keep kicking that slang. It's your boy in the building, hip-hop legend, recording engineer, underground rock and roll hero, New York City goth scene ambassador, MC Too Tall. You stupid fucks, be good.